Hi, welcome to our Poetry Corner. Today I'm going to be teaching you the signs for poems all about the month of June.
Play, play, play along. Come on and play along. Play, play, play along. Come on and play along.
So our first poem is from the poem calendar. We've done a stanza. It's the June stanza. And so month of June. So you're going to make your page here. Remember this ASL sign for June, we would fingerspell it, J-U-N-E. But we're going to do signed English where we're going to do a J and an N. So we're going to turn that page of the calendar from the J to the N. So, and this is by Sara Coleridge. So we've done one of her poems every month. This is our June stanza. Okay, so June brings, so you're going to bring your hand towards you, and June is all about flowers. So the sign for flower, you're going to like cup your hand like this, make it's called a flattened O, and we're going to go from one side of our nose to the other because that's what we do, we smell flowers, right? So we have tulips and lilies. I'm just going to use this sign for flower because we'd have to finger spell them. There's no specific sign for those. So we're going to do tulips and lilies. Ooh, but the last flower is a rose. There is a sign for rose. You're going to make the letter R, and you're going to go from one side of your nose to the other because roses smell so good. And roses, fills, so like you're holding a cup, and we're going to go off the top. Fills the children. Now for child, you're going to pat your, kind of like you're patting the top of a child's head. That would be one child. But for children, we're going to go on both sides like this. The children's hands. For hands, you take one hand and swipe it, and you do the other with, you put your fists together with posies, and posies is another word for flowers. So we're going to do this a lot one, okay? So here we go. Calendar by Sara Coleridge. June brings tulips, lilies, and roses, fills the children's hands with posies. Now our second poem is called Summer. And to do summer, you're going to take your pointer finger and you're going to drag it across your forehead because you're going to wipe that sweat off of our forehead because summer days are hot. Because the first day of summer is June 21st, right? And that happens to be the longest day of the year. And this is one of the sections of the poem by Prelutsky, and we've done him before. We did him for winter, and we've done him for spring. Now we're going to do him for summer. All right, and this is out of the poem called Four Seasons. So the signs you need to know: earth, the earth is warm. Now this would be hot. Ooh, like we have to get it out of our mouth. But for warm, you're just going to kind of come off your mouth like this, kind of warm, warm. The sun, do your pointer finger, swirl it around and flash your fingers out. The sun's ablaze like a fire, okay? It is time, you tap your watch, or where your watch would be if you're wearing one. It's time for carefree. So just take your palms here and like carefree, like carefree days. So you're gonna make a D hand and it's gonna come across like that. Days. And bees a-buzz. Now for bee, you're going to take your finger here and going to flick your cheek and brush it off like it just stung you. The bees a-buzz that chance to pass. So this hand, this hand is going to come past the other one. Chance to pass. May see me snoozing. You can go this way or you can go this way. I'm going to go this way. Snoozing on the grass. Now this is a sign for grass. So you take the palm of your hand, like this, and imagine you're laying on the grass and you've got all this grass in front of your face. This would be the sign for grass. Okay, so now let's sign Summer by Prelutsky. The earth is warm. The sun's ablaze. It is time for carefree days. The bees a-buzz that chance to pass may see me snoozing on the grass. Now this next poem is called June. Okay, and this poem is by Aileen Fisher, and I've done other poems by her. She did, I did the poem, wrote the one for Mother's Day, And she did the one about St. Patrick's Day. So she writes such cute poems. This one's darling, okay? So the words you need to know. First word is day, okay? The day is warm. Just come off your mouth like this, warm. The breeze is blowing. So just this is a fun one to do. This would be wind or breeze. The breeze is blowing. The sky is blue. So you make a B here and flick it twice. So the sky, keep your fingers together. The sky is blue. Its eye, point to your eye, is glowing. So take your palm and this hand and go kind of wiggle your finger up. Is glowing. Everything. So this is called a 10 hand. This one comes down behind this one and it's like you're pointing out things. Everything's new. So you take this palm and this hand comes scooping up like that. New and green. Remember blue was a B, you flick it twice. Well, green is a G because it starts with G and you flick it twice. Green and growing, like a little plant's coming up. You put your hand to your chest, my shoes. And for shoes, you'd make 2 fists and tap them twice. My shoes are showing. So you're going to point to your eye like they're visible. Oh, no, it's not right. My shoes are off. My socks. Now socks, you're going to take your pointer fingers and bounce them off each other. You have to point them down, okay? Because if you point them up, you're doing stars, okay? My socks are showing. That's what's showing, okay? My socks are off. Do you, and when you're asking a question, your face has to look like it has a question. Do you know how I'm going? Okay, and then for barefoot, you're going to make a flat hand here, and this middle hand, or middle finger comes around. This is a sign for bear, and then for foot, you put your hand down here, and we're going to point down to where our foot would be. Going barefoot. And that's cute, huh? Okay, so let's sign June by Aileen Fisher. The day is warm. A breeze is blowing. The sky is blue. Its eye is glowing. Everything's new and green and growing. My shoes are off. My socks are showing. My socks are off. Do you know how I'm going? Barefoot. So our last poem is by Robert Louis Stevenson, and I've done several poems of his because he's written hundreds and hundreds of poems, a lot for children. And this poem is called Bed in Summer. So now for bed, you're going to put your hands like this, like you're going to sleep, like your pillow. Bed in summer. Remember summer? We're going to bend our fingers like that. And this poem is all about how children have to go to bed when it's light out, because June 21st is the longest day of the year. The sun keeps coming up or going down later and later and later, and it comes up early. So that's what this poem is about. All right, in winter is cold, so you're gonna go, whoo. In winter, I get up, so like these are your 2 feet, and you're gonna plant them. I get up at night. Night is like the sun's going down. And dress, you just brush the front of you. Dress by yellow. Yellow starts with a Y, so we're going to make that Y here and flick it twice. Yellow. For candle, put a pointer finger here and a flame on top. Candlelight. That's cute, huh? In summer, quite the other way, I have to. So have to, you're going to take that X finger and we're going to go down hard. I have to go to bed by day. I have to go to bed and see the birds, like a little beak on a bird, bird still hopping, one finger bouncing up and down, hopping on the tree. Does that look like a tree? Or here, you're going to point to your ear, here the grown-up, so they're a little taller than you, grown-up people. People starts with the letter P, so you're going to make one on each hand and they kind of walk like that. People's feet, we're going to point down to where our feet would be. Still going past me in the street. Street, we're just going to go straight forward. Street. And does it, and we're kind of asking a question, so we have to have a question on our face. And does it not seem hard, so it, like two bent V hands, hard to you when scoop it all up, all the sky is clear and blue? And should, now have to is hard, should is like a little bit. And I should like, you're going to take your thumb and your pointer finger off your chest, like so much to play, two white hands, flick them twice, to have to go to bed by day. So now we're ready to sign the poem Bed in Summer by Robert Louis Stevenson. In winter, I get up at night and dress by yellow candlelight. In summer, quite the other way, I have to go to bed by day. I have to go to bed and see the birds still hopping on the tree, or hear the grown-up people's feet still going past me in the street. And does it not seem hard to you when all the sky is clear and blue? And I should like so much to play, to have to go to bed by day. So thank you so much for joining me today at our Poetry Corner. Love being outside. June is such a gorgeous month, so do these poems with your children. Start with the short ones, but the longer ones are fun to do too. So we'll see you next month. Oh, and if you haven't yet subscribed yet, could you please do that and give us a little thumbs up? Thank you.
Play, play, play along. Come on and play along.